The exercise Sea Vigil is an exercise which is conceived on 2018, basically to derive the lessons and the actions to be taken from the attacks which happened in Mumbai in 26/11. So a lot of improvements in coastal security, coastal defense happened subsequent to the attacks in Mumbai. To take it forward in a coordinated manner all across the country, the exercise Sea Vigil was envisaged. The first one exercise happened in 2018, and presently the fourth edition of this exercise is in progress. The aim of this exercise is really to ensure that know what are our capabilities across the nation, as well as to find out what are the vulnerabilities and where we need to improve in the process of coastal security as well as coastal defense. The one of the other aims of this exercise is also to generate a lot of consciousness on coastal security in our population, for which reason we have this time employed both children from scouts and guides as well as NCC cadets. A program for fishing community interaction is always ongoing throughout the year. That has also been intensified for this particular exercise. One more fact about this exercise is that it is being conducted in two phases. The first phase commenced from 12th of November and was in progress till yesterday, 19th, in which a joint team was made under the leadership of Navy with people from Coast Guard, the Coastal Security Police, IB, as well as the fisheries and other coastal security agencies. And this joint team went across to both South and North Goa to various positions, which are the coastal security nodes, such as the fish landing points, the ramps, the coastal security police stations, and carried out the realistic evaluation as to what is our capability and where we lack, where we need to improve. This audit is going to be very helpful in finding out what we need to do in the future. Subsequent to this audit, starting today from 0800, the actual exercise has started, which is going to be in force for about 36 hours and will finish late evening tomorrow, in which we have a realistic simulation of the coastal security threat, and there will be people who are going to act as infiltrators, and there will be attempt to catch it using the coastal security organization which we have. So this is by and large the coastal security and defense construct which we want to exercise as part of Sea Vigil. Another interesting fact about exercise Sea Vigil is that we have this time is going to be the largest exercise comprising all over the country, all coastal states and island territories, and more than 6 ministries and more than 21 organizations, agencies are involved in it at from right from New Delhi downwards to the states and down to the last man on the ground. So this is in a nutshell the exercise Sea Vigil, and we hope that through the media we will gain further consciousness on the local populace about the coastal security aspects and the importance of coastal security for the country.
So review is required, like for entire India, because we have seen the Bangladesh refugee thing and all those things. That Bengal ki Khadi is the sensitive area has become so. India as a refugee.
So yes, I do agree with you that I think going across to the warfare changes. I think with technology, almost every decade there is a new threat and a new way to counter it. We are very cognizant of that. There are two wars which are going on in the world right now. We are very close examination of the ways that these the defense and the offense is happening is being studied, and I think the right lessons will be taken by the concerned agencies, whose job is it to actually study them, examine them in detail, as well as do the material procurements which are required to do that. So this is an ongoing activity and happens in every security agency, not just the Navy or the armed forces, also the police and CISF and etc.
Could you give us some light on what the NCC and scouts and guides students will be? What's their role in this?
Yeah, so that's a very nice question. They, our aim with the NCC cadets and the scouts and guides is at a very young age, we want to give them some kind of exposure to the coastal security construct which has been made in the Navy. So, with the help of the authorities, what we have done is that we have divided the students into small teams. Along with some of our personnel, they will go to certain important nodes which are there, such as the lighthouse, such as the boats, such as the the Coast Guard setup, etc. And they go there, and they will be then kind of briefed by the people there exactly what happens. The aim of this exercise is to create awareness amongst the people. Also, the NCC cadets will get a taste of what exactly it means to be doing these watches and looking out through the binoculars and seeing if there is any threat or not. So it will be an interesting activity for them as well as an educative and thing, and that is the aim of the exercise, to involve the students.
So the main issue with the 26/11 terror attack has been the lack of GPS systems and lack of communication systems for tracking the tracking devices for locating the friendly and the intruding boat, because the terrorists who came in the Mumbai attack, they took over our own fishing trawler and intruded. So during my interaction with the Coast Guard, one element that came out was very difficult to identify a friendly boat versus a non-friendly boat within our own waters. So how with this exercise, how do you propose to get that thing in place to identify including boat which is amongst our fishermen and not friendly or foe?
Also, this is a very relevant question. The identification is a huge problem at sea. So one of the ways to identify is that the boat, every state has got a boat colors and markings. So this is one way of identifying. Second thing is that the person who knows best whether the particular boat belongs to this area or not is the fisherman, because he's at sea most of the time and he knows who's around him. So if we are able to create them as our eyes and ears, this is the best we can. In addition to that, there is a regulation in which every boat is required to have a transponder. This is a process which is on and it is a work in progress. So the transponder then responds. We have a shore station which we can come to know that these are the boats which are around and they belong to whom and what they are doing. If there is another boat which does not have a transponder, soon we will come to know that this is one of the boats which is kind of coming as an intrusion. So, however, not all boats have transponders today, but this is a work in progress, and shortly we will have the transponders fitted on most boats. So that is a technological way of getting through it, but there is no replacement for the eyes and ears of the fishing community, because finally from there he has to come to shore, somebody has to see him, and we want that each and every person who's there on the coast, whether he be a fisherman or the coastal population, should be alert in telling and informing if he sees something which is untoward. And that is one of the major aims of this exercise. That is why we have involved a large number of people and doing across the entire coastal states at the same time.
Previous experience, what kind of gaps you have been able to identify till now, and what is the where are you taking this forward from there?
Yeah. So as you're aware that the surveillance is the most important thing in coastal security. We have established a coastal radar network after the 26/11 incident. So a lot of improvement has happened in the process of surveillance and knowing what all is happening across in the water. This is also an area of weakness, because we do not know 100%, and this is a constant area of improvement where we need to improve, and this is one of the areas that we want to bolster as part of doing these exercises and do that. For this reason, the entire fishing community is our eyes and ears, and we carry out fishing community interactions to kind of sensitize them with what is going to happen and to be more security oriented. So if they notice something, they become our eyes and ears, and then the organization takes place.
So which are the area you think that the most sensitive area in the entire coastal area of India?
Yeah. So what we do is that we get a list of vulnerable areas and vulnerable points from the state government. We also have our own. These areas are naturally defended. For example, let us take the case of Vasco. We have got the port here, we have the airport here. Obviously, they are very sensitive areas. CISF is already deployed in these areas. So, such areas which are sensitive and vulnerable and important have already been given a lot of security and defense from the police. The importance is that is there sufficient protection to them for an infiltrator who is going to come from the sea route? This is what really we are checking. There are a large number of these VAs, VPs as we call them in the state of Goa. We have them, we have a list of them. These all are very well defended by the respective agency who is in charge of protecting them. However, there are always areas which need to be tested, and this is the aim of this exercise to find out how good we are, and as well as if there are some vulnerabilities, where do these lie.
What we saw in Mumbai was small teams of infiltrators coming in pretending to be fishermen. What's the red team size today?
So that's an operational question, and I don't want to disclose that. However, it is very realistic. The red team is also very realistic to a real life situation, and they have also been briefed and given some intelligence so that they know exactly what the blue side is going to do, so that they are able to infiltrate. So, and of course, when they do that, they make a report to us that we have infiltrated in so and so position, and then we come to know that how they have infiltrated, and that will be a part of the debrief.
Do you also see that the threats are evolving since 26/11?
So that's an excellent question, and as you know that one of the big evolving threat is the threat of drones, which is also something which we are likely to exercise as part of this exercise Vigil. However, the actual drones which are capable of causing great damage, which we are seeing in the world today, we are not going to simulate those. We have smaller drones which we are going to simulate. Our basic intention is to find out whether the community is alive to seeing an unnatural object or unfamiliar object and makes a report, because that is the start point of the defense or security apparatus.